Ever get that knot in your stomach right before a season flips on its head? Well, hang on, because things in Edmonton are heating up on and off the ice. There's a rumor floating around that could shake the entire direction of the Oilers, prospects who are either popping or falling flat, and a whole lot of noise about what's actually going on behind closed doors. The big question is whether we're looking at a turning point or the start of a slow burn into something uglier. You won't believe what's on the table today. Grab a seat, toss a like our way, and let's dive in. It's wild how the Oilers development pipeline always seems to ride this roller coaster. One week we're buzzing, the next we're flat, and this past stretch wasn't any different. While the front office tries to figure out whether the issue sits at the NHL level or deeper down the ladder, the name Albin Sundin has started stirring things up among fans. The kid looks like a perfect snapshot of the team's current dilemma. Raw talent with pieces of high-end potential, but still missing the polish that turns a prospect into a player. His recent run with Timrå Ike shows real flashes, that ability to slow down the game and shift momentum with one smart read. But the same plays also expose his biggest weaknesses, especially his skating and physical game. And in Edmonton, where the ice feels heavier and the game hits harder, that can be a deal breaker. While everyone's eyes were glued to Europe, the real noise this week came from Bakersfield. The Condors had a rough swing. A convincing win over the Wranglers, followed by 2 losses that left everyone shaking their heads. Quinn Hudson keeps rolling, leading the group in goals and points, the kind of guy fans are already imagining in blue and orange sooner rather than later. Isaac Howard seems to have rediscovered that killer instinct, too. 9 points in 4 games is no joke, and he looks like the kind of sniper Edmonton's been desperate to find, so the offense doesn't depend entirely on Draisaitl and McDavid. Still, the question nags. Can Howard make an impact when the puck isn't going in? The hole goes deeper. Connor Clattenburg, one of Bakersfield's spark-plug players, got the call to the big club and even buried his first NHL goal. A great moment, sure, but also a reminder that the Oilers are scraping at the bottom trying to patch holes. Down in the ECHL, Fort Wayne is holding steady at the top of the division, though the goalie rotation keeps everyone guessing. It's depth, but it's also uncertainty. Across the NCAA and junior leagues, things are still mixed. Bauer Berry's showing some real hockey sense. Barnett dropped a couple of beautiful helpers against Ohio State, and Tommy Lafreniere is lighting it up in the WHL. These aren't household names yet, but inside the organization, they're long-term hope. If even 2 or 3 of these guys pan out, the picture changes fast. Right now, the Oilers' development system looks like a messy mosaic, shiny pieces mixed with glaring gaps. But in every clip and every shift, there's a bit of optimism. If the staff stays patient and the fan base holds strong through yet another storm, these scattered pieces could finally turn into armor. And somehow, that's still not the biggest shock of the day. There's something hanging in the air out here, and it's not the winter wind rolling in off the river valley. It's doubt. The goalie debate, which had already been simmering, finally boiled over and split the fan base right down the middle. All it took was a Nick Kiprio's report dropping Jordan Binnington's name into the conversation to turn oil country into a full-blown fire pit. The story was simple, almost harmless. Edmonton had kicked tires on the Blues goalie, and the deal would likely involve sending Stuart Skinner the other way. But even that tiny spark ignited everything. The 8-3 beating from the Dallas Stars poured gasoline on it. Skinner and Pickard both left the night with numbers nobody wants to read twice. The team looked lost, and the fans had no patience left. So the rumor mill exploded. Darren Dreger and Pierre Lebrun backed up the idea that Edmonton's interest in Binnington was real, but warned the price would be painful. Dreger reminded everyone that dealing with Doug Armstrong is never easy. LeBron added that it's the kind of move that takes guts and a stomach of steel. Fans in Edmonton are split. Some say the team has to act, no matter the cost. Others are stunned that the Oilers would chase a goalie with stats worse than Skinner's. With a save percentage around .880, Binnington's sitting near the bottom of the league. Still, there's a group that believes in his edge. That fiery competitive streak they think could flip a series on its head. Inside the room, though, the tone is different. Draisaitl and McDavid made it clear the problem isn't on the goal line. McDavid said it flat out, it's a team issue. His words were measured. The kind of thing a captain says when he's trying to steady a ship before the cracks widen. That's the dilemma. The Oilers believe too much in their own offensive firepower to hit a true reset. But behind the scenes, the confidence is slipping. A rushed move could shatter the room. Staying put could sink the season. Analyst Zach Lang summed it up with that classic line. Goalies are voodoo. In Edmonton, they might also be a mirror showing something deeper. A team on the edge of a franchise-shifting choice. And hold on, because what comes next is even harder to swallow. That thud against Dallas was brutal. One of those nights where nothing goes right. Every bounce goes the wrong way, and the ice feels like it's tilted. An 8-3 loss that hits harder in the pride than it does in the standings. And what stood out wasn't the collapse in net, but how disconnected the defense looked from the opening faceoff. Skinner gave up 4 goals on 8 shots before being pulled, and Pickard stepped into a mess. No goalie could clean up, but the real shock was the reaction in the room. Draisaitl, who never sugarcoats anything, backed the goalies fiercely. He said they're part of the team, and the group needs to be better in front of them. It was short, sharp, and full of frustration. McDavid echoed the same thing, keeping it calm. Being a goalie is a team job, he said. Hard to look good when everything in front of you is falling apart. Those comments showed a group trying to protect each other while feeling the ground shift beneath them. A talented team, still trying to figure out how to turn all that skill into consistency. And with the schedule tightening, the runway to fix things is shrinking fast. Fans know it, and they're loud about it. Scroll through any feed, and you can feel the frustration boiling. Some blame the defensive structure, others the lack of a true stabilizing defenseman. Some think it's mental, that once a team loses belief in its goalie, everything unravels. And that's the real danger. Once players start doubting that the next shot will be stopped, the system collapses. At 10-10-5, Edmonton's still technically in the fight, but the numbers don't lie. Skinner's sitting near the bottom of the league, and Pickard's dead last among goalies with 9 or more games. The stats are bad, but the vibe is worse, a team playing scared instead of setting the tone. After the Dallas game, the silence in the room said everything. Those heavy stares and quiet moments where everyone's replaying mistakes in their heads. The kind of silence that comes before something breaks or something changes. With Seattle up next, the challenge is more emotional than tactical. If there's ever been a time to push back, it's now. One more loss, and those cold Edmonton wins might turn into an internal storm nobody can outrun. The Oilers' fate feels like it's hanging by a thread. But this is also when the fire in the fan base matters most. 3 different storylines, one shared dilemma: talent, confidence, and identity. Does this group have what it takes to turn the tide? Or are we staring down another season defined by almost? The answer isn't just in the hands of McDavid and Draisaitl. It's in the belief people choose to hold. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Ring the bell and stick with us right to the end.